Hey guys, Rob here from Be Awesome Fitness, and it's a beautiful Friday morning. Friday can only mean one thing, and that's run day. Okay, so today I'm going to do a really quick post about Zone 2 running. Asked a lot of questions about running, about why people struggle to improve. So I'm going to give you my 2 pence worth. Now, for those who don't know me, ex-military, ex-para, marathon runner, ultra marathon runner, triathlete, Ironman, and none of that means a fucking thing apart from the fact that I've run a lot of miles, I've tried a lot of things, and I found a few things that work. Okay, so one of the biggest increases in fitness I ever had was when I started training Zone 2 training. Now, Zone 2 training is just another posh word for training your aerobic system. Okay, most runners out there, they tend to run at the wrong pace, and they hit more high-end aerobic stroke anaerobic training, and they completely neglect the lower end of the zones. And what that does, if you imagine, if you only drive your car in 3rd, 4th and 5th gear, then gear number 1 and number 2 never get trained. So by training Zone 2 training, you're training your 1st and 2nd gear. It's also the most efficient system that you can use inside your body, as it uses fats for fuel rather than carbohydrates. And what that means for you long distance guys is you don't need to take on as many carbohydrates. You tend not to hit the wall, and you tend to have a lot more enjoyment out of running. So all you need to run Zone 2 effectively is a heart rate monitor. And how you typically do it is you can either do it 2 ways. You can either get it assessed by true Zone 2, which is blood lactate testing, or the cheaper and easier way is by the Maffetone method. So what you do is 180 minus your age would give you the top of your Zone 2 heart rate zones. Okay, so for instance, mine's 142. So for my Zone 2 training, I try and stay below 142. Now, when you start Zone 2 training, to start with, it sucks. Okay, it's a zone you probably haven't done much training in, so you will be slow. It will feel like everyone's looking at you because you're going slower than everyone else. But guys, I promise you, by sticking to Zone 2 training, you will speed up. And if you speed up in your lower zones, then by definition, you also have to speed up in your top end zones. Now, I started off running Zone 2 and maybe 10.5-minute miles. I can run now 8-minute miles in Zone 2, and that's in fat burning zone. Okay, so I can typically run a marathon and beyond in my Zone 2, and what that does is it makes me enjoy it far more, okay, than pushing the zones and going out my heart rate zone, out my comfort zone. Now, another way you can do your Zone 2 to make sure you're in the right zone is by only breathing through your nose. That's a really good tip. Okay, if you can only breathe through your nose, then you're pretty much going to be in your Zone 2. Now, what kind of frequency should you be looking? Well, as a rule of thumb, when it comes to running, that 80% of all your training should be done in Zone 2, and 20% of it should be done in Zone 4/5. Okay, so you've got to create an aerobic and an anaerobic adaptation. Now, your long runs typically will always be in Zone 2, and your shorter runs in the higher zones. So guys, for any of you watching this that haven't tried it yet, Zone 2 doesn't happen overnight. It's something you've got to persevere with. You will get frustrated at the start. However, if you keep going, your speed will increase. And I promise you, it'll probably be the greatest thing you'll ever do in terms of increasing your overall speed, no matter what the distance. But the second part of Zone 2 running, it also makes everything enjoyable. Okay, you can run a Zone 2. You'll have very little pain after the run, very little recovery time needed. You can, chat with the people you're running with a lot better. Zone 2 is a really good pace to run at, guys. So if you haven't tried it yet, do a little bit of research, or hit me up online, drop me a message on Facebook, and I'll help you as best I can. Have a great day.